All right, so we have some new polling information here. So the Real Albanian Pat over on X, he posted the latest innovative research poll modeled out, and the Conservatives have 174 seats. Now, that is barely a majority, right? You need 172. So this poll is showing that Pierre Poilievre is barely holding on, but that's going to be it's not going to be enough to make Conservatives comfortable. Not that I want them to be comfortable, I want them to be motivated and get out, and I think this helps that, but I think this helps them get motivated to get out and vote, but boy, oh boy, I mean, you're seeing a liberal surge in an awful lot of polls, even though Innovative and Abacus still show that the Conservatives have a lead. Polymarket also shows that the Conservatives have a lead, but here's what's interesting. So this was March 6th, so today at 7 in the morning, Pierre Poilievre was at 69%. And then, boom, look at this. 64% at 7 p.m. the same day. There's a 5-point drop in just one day. Now, we've seen drops before. You know, he usually comes back. And yes, I think that the Mark Carney parade, or whatever you want to call it, the Mark Carney mania, whatever the Liberals are calling it, I think it's not reasonable that they're going to continue to do this, especially with Mark Carney being exposed for the liar that he is. And, you know, the threat of the Trump tariffs, I think, are hurting Pierre Poilievre as well. And people, for some reason, trust Mark Carney more. I don't know why he's trustworthy at all, but it seems like there is more of a spike than we predicted happening. But we still haven't had the Pierre versus Carney debate yet. Well, Carney's still not even technically the Liberal leader yet, but most people believe he will be. And when they debate, I think Pierre Poilievre is going to win. And that will probably help things, but how much, who knows? We don't really know how much the debates affect people's positions or opinions, although they do affect it a little bit. We just don't know if this is going to hurt or help Pierre Poilievre by a few percentage points, or 10 or 20%. You never really know. Depends how it goes, and depends, you know, what happens when Mark Carney is installed as prime minister, which, let's be honest, he will be. Gould and Freeland have no chance. But either way, in my opinion, the Carney mania is going to collapse. But, you know, he's reaching almost 40% odds right now. So there is cause to be concerned. Now, I do think that this is going to motivate everyone who is at least anti-liberal. Conservatives, of course, are anti-liberal. And these days, so are centrists, so are populists, and so are libertarians. No one really likes the liberals unless you're super liberal, but unfortunately we have a lot of super liberal people in this country who will see what Justin Trudeau has done and continue to vote for the same party and the same people that supported him. And now all of a sudden, Trudeau tanked in the polls, he resigned, and oh yeah, he did a bad job. Go watch Chrystia Freeland and Karina Gould during question period. Every time Trudeau spoke, they were bobbleheads. They're just continuously nodding their head up and down. Yep, here, here. They would just agree with everything he did. And then they started to lose really badly in the polls and the betting market. You see here, January 6th, Pierre Poilievre's at 92% chance. And then all of a sudden, you know, people threw Trudeau under the bus, which he deserved. But they also deserve it too, because they agreed with everything he did, everything he said. And now that he's gone, oh, we're different, guys. We didn't agree with him the whole time. We're gonna do things differently, and people are believing them, at least for now. I expect this to change, as I said, when they have the debate. I expect Pierre to do very well and win, but it's getting a little bit too close for comfort, even in the betting market. Right, but going back to the polls, you know, it shows that Conservatives would have a 39% chance, 39% of the vote, with Liberals at 30%. So it's a pretty sizable lead, but we cannot have a minority. Right, if we go over here to 338 Canada, if Pierre Poilievre wins, say, 160 seats, which is what the average, this is the aggregate, the average of all polls, this is what they're showing. So if Pierre Poilievre only wins 160 seats and the Liberals get 139, they only need 21 of the Bloc's 28 and of the NDP's 14 and the Greens 2 to essentially block anything the Conservatives want to do. We need a majority here. And the fact that Pierre Poilievre is barely holding on to it, and that he's took a pretty big hit today in even the betting market, this is cause for concern. I still think that they're going to bounce back. I think Carney mania is going to, lose its momentum. Especially the more he talks, the more he gets exposed for being a liar and a globalist and a banker and someone who moved his own company to America, giving Americans more jobs. And also, I covered a video of Pierre Poilievre having a little debate with Mark Carney about the pipelines. Go check that out. Mark Carney looked really, really dumb. And Pierre Poilievre looked great. So hopefully when they have the debate, Pierre Poilievre can kind of switch the momentum back here. Because I do believe that as soon as Mark Carney wins, with what he's seeing in the polls, he's going to call a snap election. Now, are these polls correct? Is the betting market correct? Well, the betting market is a much better predictor. Just historically, they've been a better predictor because they're the ones who are going to lose a lot of money, where pollsters can be wrong and then still be taken seriously. But with the average pollsters here, I mean, you're seeing Ipsos and I think Ecos, who right now show that the Liberals have a lead. Yeah, Ipsos and Ecos have 38% each. But Abacus Data has the Conservatives at 41%. Leger has them up by 3 at 38%. And Innovative has them at 39%. So, again, I've exposed, it was actually Brian Lilly who exposed Ecos owner Frank Graves for being extremely biased and having a personal agenda against Pierre Poilievre. And ever since he started making these polls showing this liberal surge, other pollsters have followed suit. Now, we don't know if these polls are being manipulated or not. Some people think they are. Some people think they're real. But it's also interesting because a lot of people who said polls are fake and are on the liberal side now all of a sudden believe the pollsters. And you're seeing mainstream media like CTV kind of go, oh, look, the liberals are coming back. There's such a huge spike. Oh, they got all this momentum. And they're kind of drooling over Mark Carney a lot. So you're seeing like a bigger shift than we expected. But I expect Pierre Poilievre to win that momentum back. Hopefully. And again, I am not a super conservative person. I used to be really liberal. I am not now because I've seen what it's done. I never actually voted for Justin Trudeau, but I didn't vote conservative either. So, I'm not really a fan of either party, but I would way rather Pierre Poilievre. We don't need another WEF liberal. We don't need a modern Marxist liberal or a nihilistic liberal in there. We need someone who has financial common sense. So we'll see what happens, I guess. It's going to be really interesting. We're probably going to have elections sometime in late April or early May. That's only a couple months away, so hopefully that debate happens. I don't know if Mark Carney will actually go through with it. There's always a chance that he just doesn't have the debate for whatever reason, and whatever excuse he comes up, I'm sure the Liberals will be just fine with it. But that being said, things are starting to get really, really interesting here, and hopefully this motivates everyone who's not liberal to get out there and vote. There's a lot of liberals out there, guys, and they were very unmotivated when Justin Trudeau was, well, he's still technically prime minister, but there's going to be a new prime minister, and they're motivated about it. They think Mark Carney is good. They think he's better than Justin Trudeau. Now, the opposite is true, right? When liberals say anything, the opposite is basically true, but this is especially. Mark Carney is here to finish off what Justin Trudeau started. And if you think the middle class is hurting right now, which they are, give Mark Carney 4 years and see what happens. So hopefully, this reaches you guys. And if you were thinking, hey, Pierre Poilievre's got this in the bag, right? If you look at Polymarket and you go back to January 6th, 92%, a lot of people were going to go, I don't need to vote. Pierre Poilievre's going to win easily. Well, now you need to get out there and vote. And tell your friends, your family members, anyone who does not like Justin Trudeau or the Liberal Party in general, you can't get complacent. You got to get out there and vote. But either way, let me know what you guys think. What do you think of this recent dip, this 5% loss in just 12 hours in the betting market for Pierre Poilievre? Are you concerned? Do you think he'll bounce back? Let me know what you think. Also, please don't forget to like and subscribe as it really helps grow this channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll be back shortly with a new video.